Hello, my name is Anna. Welcome to my home and to my collection, a respectful bow to the creators. I am a traveler, an artist, and this is the most, crucial part of me because as much as I travel around the world, I'm getting into different traditions, different cultures, and I'm always doing the sketches, of all the places I've been traveled around. So for me, it is just like very important to improve my skills of sketching and also to see the details of the objects. When you do sketching, you look more carefully and precisely, on the objects. So you can see sometimes, what you haven't noticed before, small details, small scratches. And then if you have a good imagination, you start imagining, why is this scratch? What happened with the object? What life it had? Who was the first person these eyes saw? So it is like an artistic attitude. I lived for some period of my life in Ethiopia, in my uncle's house in Addis Ababa. Then I left Africa and went back to Russia. And then I came back already with my little daughter there. So, and spent a period of my life in Morocco, in Marrakesh, yes. But at that period of time, it's so funny, I was not much in Africa art. At that period of time, I was collecting Asian art and all these delicate things, nitsuke, kimono, I was more in. But all the objects that surrounded me, the nature, the people, the traditions, the culture, I think they stuck in my heart. In Milan, when I saw this first object, this one, Wumbu, the big one from Simango Atelier, it was a shock for me, I remembered all my students' years in Africa. I remembered, just like déjà vu, a kind of really déjà vu. I just felt a connection and I started learning more and more and more. And only after I bought a first piece. First, I never seen this kind of things, while being in Africa. I never saw kota, this tradition is maybe, I should say, the rarest, in Africa. It doesn't exist elsewhere because usually they make masks and figures, but to reduce the human form to its basic elements and do it perfectly, so you immediately understand this is the human body, and only geometrical forms are left of it. I loved this piece, really loved. I went to Switzerland for my holiday. I didn't rush, to buy. I bought a lot of books. Thanks God we have this internet right now, arcade, all the database. And I started exploring, just reading. And then, for me, it was a big surprise when I heard the price for the object. I was just like, oh, boom, boom, boom. How is it possible, that the tiny object made of wood, covered with brass and a bit of copper can cost that much? But then, step by step, I started to understand, the price range also for the object. It can be also low, it can be medium, it can be super high, And finally I bought it, It was a bit shaking hands because it was like, yeah. But now, and I should say, it's easy to buy. No, it's hard to buy the first one. Really happily, long as they say, and she will live long and happily life with my collection. Now, honestly, it is just really easy to live with all these, pieces because they make me calm. I feel safe, I feel their protection, and I feel very, very quiet with them.
Yeah, man. Jah will be waiting there, we a shout. Jah will be waiting there. In this world of calamity, dirty looks and grudges and jealousy, and police where abuse them authority. Me the clown.
I'll tell you the whole, process, how it is working. For me, it's just like my personal experience. First, I make a photo, the object I like. Then I go back, home and start sketching. Because if I understand that this object touches me, I want to sketch it every day more and more and more and more, I go back to the gallery. I just make one more tour around the object, check all the details. Then I start reading. I start exploring always myself, because dealers, they're just like cool, they have their knowledge. But anyway, I don't love the idea when the people say, I love the object just only because of the form. I hate it, because behind the form there is a history. There is a huge, huge story, where the object was made, where for what purpose it served, and honestly, I don't like to call myself like a curator or a collector, because collectors, they're just like, it sounds a bit strange, collecting, you can collect everything. But when we talk about art, and this is art really, are masterpieces. So I would love to say that we're like a temporary custodians, of the objects. Because these objects, they changed my life as they changed the life of the people before, where they came from, so, and then they will change some other's life. I like the idea of, just like these protective reliquary figures. You know that Kota people, they were just like slash and burn farmers. So they were traveling, they stayed in one place for 5-6 years. And then they moved out. So to keep loved together with you, not to leave them behind, so they made these reliquary baskets with some pieces, belonging to the ancestors. And while moving, they were just like moving together with their beloved. I also like the idea of this, that you're the persons that you loved, they're always with you, So this baby is always with me, just I have two in my bucket list, so one Mahongwe and one Shamaya, my dream pieces. Some people, when they're coming in, they're just like, oh my God, it looks fabulous, it's amazing, it's incredible. And another reaction is less, happy. Some people saying, oh my God, how you can live with that? Don't you scare of them? Or how you just sleep in the apartment with all these figures? So it depends, honestly, it depends on the person. And for me, it is like check, a test, if the person can see the beauty, it means that it's not my person. 5 years ago, I would give an advice to myself, just don't trust dealers too much. Just trust your heart, trust your knowledge, ask for advice. But anyway, the choice and decision should come from inside, not from some others, heart or some other's wallet, because dealers, they usually think about the margins, it's business, So they never think how this piece will fit you, how this piece will be in your collection, and how you will feel together with this piece. Because it's a family, it's just like a part of my life, and I'm living with them.